Hey, Brad here with the Office of the CISO. So yesterday was Patch Tuesday, and we had a lot of vulnerabilities announced. Particularly, Microsoft is putting out some patches that are covering a whole swath of vulnerabilities. There were three that I wanted to bring up that kind of stood out to me. Of course, there are two that are high vulnerabilities. So the three that I'm looking at, CVE 2023-21674, that one's being actively exploited. CVE 2023-21549, that one's publicly disclosed. I don't believe we know of any active exploits at the moment. And then CVE 2023-21743 is one that's a security feature bypass vulnerability. I'll get to it in just a second. So the first one, CVE 2023-21674, is a Windows ALPC vulnerability, the advanced local procedure call. ALPC is an internal messaging capability that lets the Windows operating system send messages amongst its internal processes and components. This vulnerability is not remotely exploitable because the ALPC feature is not remotely available, not through like an API or a WMI. But the vulnerability can be used for privilege escalation pretty easily. So it would have to be combined with another vulnerability or some other way to remotely access the device and then escalate privilege. And I believe the privileges that can be escalated to are that of system. So it is a particularly dangerous vulnerability. Its CVSS score is 8.8. That's ascribed by Microsoft. And the remediation or mitigation for this vulnerability is to patch it. So that patch should have been released yesterday in Microsoft's Patch Tuesday announcements. The next one, CVE 2023-21549, is a Windows SMB witness vulnerability. So SMB witness protocol was introduced in SMB 3.0, I think, back in 2013. It notifies clients of file share issues, allowing those clients to like repair or reestablish the share handle. So this is a CVSS score of 8.8 also, which is a high. This vulnerability should also be patched with the patches that were released in Patch Tuesday for January of 23. The last one I wanted to bring up is a medium vulnerability, which usually wouldn't make this priority of the list or whatever, but so CVE 2023-21743 is a Sharepoint security feature bypass. It allows an attacker to remotely access the Sharepoint services unauthorized, basically, so they end up making an anonymous connection to the Sharepoint service. Again, this vulnerability is CVSS 5.3, so it's a medium, but with its anonymous nature and the remote nature of the vulnerability, I feel like it's something that needs to be brought up and something that needs to be addressed. Also, because the remediation patch doesn't outright fix the issue. There are additional steps that need to be taken by admins to fix the issue. All of those steps are defined in the Microsoft MSRC link that I've included in the video notes. So that's all for this one. Lots of Microsoft vulnerabilities being patched. Those three, in my opinion, are heinous enough to deal with in short order. So yeah, patch your stuff. Thanks for listening.